Where's it?
Help! 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 Help!
Ah, Sir Geoffrey.
Good morning.
I thought we might be seeing you.
Something most urgent's just come
I
up.
imagine the PM wants action on this Morrow nonsense.
How did you know that?
I read the morning papers. They said so little at such length that I assume your people have made a pig's breakfast as usual.
Oh, damn it, man.
Morning, Sir Geoffrey. Who's made a meal of what?
Oh, dear. Tell him, Norton. He only does the horses and the crosswords.
Last night, Charles Morrow, the junior minister, was attacked at his home. It was a break-in. We're treating it as attempted murder. Fortunately, Morrow got off lightly, but his assailant escaped.
Oh, yes. Who have you got in the case?
Foster.
Oh, dreadful dunce.
Oh, dear me, yes. Take him off. Don't you think the police can handle this on their own, Dimmock?
Why not? Plain, flat-footed common sense often works better than flashy virtuosity.
Quite so.
How about Craythorpe?
Craythorpe. Very good, Thorpe. There you are, Norton.
But I just sent him to traffic control. He's badly in need of a touch of discipline. Still, if you really think he...
Yes, we do. Craythorpe. Good day to you.
Yeah, but damn it, man, I can't just tell Downing Street that you can't be bothered to take it on.
I'm sorry, but there's nothing in it to interest us.
There is one point that was not mentioned in the newspapers. That is that although Marrow has stabbed once, he has 2 wounds.
How very exuberant of him.
Side by side?
Yes, close together. Some sort of pronged instrument must have been used.
Outsized pickle fork, perhaps?
Has Morrow any connections with the Arab world?
Oh, no idea.
Get Craythorpe to ask. Also, if Morrow takes drugs.
Drugs? Oh. Well, you will keep an eye on this for us, then. Hmm?
It might possibly interest us. Get Craythorpe to use one of those ingenious pocket tape recorders. Mind the step. And then we can hear for ourselves what due business he stirs up.
Right you are. The PM is being most pressing.
I should hope he was. Where would we be if our Prime Ministers didn't press? Doesn't mean we can't forestall him for a day or two, though, does it? Good day.
An assassin's 2-pronged dagger? Why did you ask him about drugs?
You've answered that yourself. Assassin from the Arabic hashishin.
Oh, yes, how crass of it.
The Assassins were a secret society formed in the 9th century, mostly to kill Christians, I'm glad to say. At that time, you may remember, we were sending wave after wave of minor unwashed gentry out to the Holy Land to make their fortunes and knock hell out of the infidel, who were a deal more gracious and civilized than we were. The assassins souped themselves up on hashish and then went out to murder with the 2-pronged sword of Ali, the Zulfikar. I dare say the society still exists in the more shadowy purlieus of Alexandria or Tehran.
There's really no saying these days who junior ministers will mix with, is there?
I'm afraid not, Dimmock. I'm afraid not.
After all, we are a world power. We have definite policies. Anyone involved in those policies must make enemies.
But you've no personal enemies, Mr. Morrow. Nothing in your ordinary life.
My private life is singularly unloaded, Chief Inspector.
Tell me, sir. This may seem a strange question to you, but what are your connections with the Middle East?
I don't see that it's much help, but I'm attached to the Foreign Office. The Middle East is foreign.
Yes, sir, of course. We appreciate that.
Well, if that's the sort of lead you have, you've got a lot of territory to cover. We're not loved in Islam.
I see. Well, thank you very much.
I wish I could have been more help.
It's right.
Yes, it's very right. No, don't scratch it. The tissues are still new.
Can I see it, please?
Why not?
What an admission of failure. So useless as the man one was created, one had to become someone else.
Not just anyone. You chose yourself. Pick the future.
Ah, you're the one who chose it. It's a wonder the family resemblance is not between us.
Where did the profit?
Oh, yes, I'd forgotten your purity of motive.
There's a telegram. Read it.
Oh, who's this one, then?
The unknown man who last night attempted to assassinate Mr. Charles Morrow and the Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs has still not been traced. Police investigating the case told reporters earlier today that it is possibly the work of political cranks or extremists. Rescuers are still trying to reach the wreck of the airliner which crashed 2 days ago in Virginia. The airline...
So, they don't know why.
Are they trying to trap us?
If they'd wanted to trap us, they'd have said nothing. Nothing at all. You learn the history of who you are. Morrow can do what he likes. He doesn't know. We can forget him until the very last. I want a call to London, please. Yes. Yes, I'll hold on. The other one's easier and more important.
So, the order is advance. Even if the standards changed.
Well, if that's the sort of lead you have, you've got a lot of territory to cover. We're not loved in Islam.
The dulcet tones of the professional liar.
Morrow. I feel I've disliked him before somewhere.
You dislike everybody, Dimmick, sooner or later. What about his hinting that the attack was political?
Yes, Morrow. Tomorrow and... Scotland. I ought to have the file.
Are you dribbling about?
Glasgow. Colonel Jimmy Bancroft. He ran that espionage unit in Glasgow during the war. Its speciality was Arab and Middle East affairs. Attached to it, as a liaison officer, was a young, poisonous lieutenant called Morrow.
Say?
Yeah, certainly. This could be it. Yeah.
What?
A list of all personnel who worked with Bancroft.
You made this list?
No, I stole it in 1956 from security. Only the other day, a lapsed double agent called Fingal said they were still looking for it. I suppose they think it's still important. Now, any of these could have known Morrow.
What about him? Tufik Ali, born in Aldgate East in 1927, monitored for Bancroft. Last heard of in 1954, running Shakedom Antiques in the Mile End Road.
Well, he might sell assassins' daggers, mightn't he?
Yes. He bears some investigation, I'd say.
Mr. Ali.
Tawfiq Ali.
Yes? Chief Superintendent Craythorpe. You own this shop, Mr. Ali?
Tawfiq Ali. Certainly, I am the proprietor.
You sell weapons?
Sometimes Oriental, Arab.
Anything like this?
One of the swords in the Ismaili. No, never anything like that.
You've got lots of weapons here, Mr. Ali.
My own collection. Nothing on that wall's for sale.
If you wanted one of these, where would you get it?
Oh, I would write to my agents in Beirut and Jeddah and Mazafariyah. They would say what I am saying to you now. Swords like this are difficult to find.
How are they used?
Like a sword. Excuse me. Hassan, please. Why? Am I suspected of murder?
Shakedom Antiques? International exchange?
You know the Middle Eastern community here in London?
Sometimes we meet.
What does Mr. Charles Morrow have to do with it?
Mr. Charles Morrow?
Yeah.
The minister?
Yeah.
The one who
That's
was...
the man, yeah. What's the connection?
None, so far as I know.
There's no personal link between you?
None.
Oh, I see. Well, I might have to pop in for another chat sometime, Mr. Tawfiq.
I am always here, Chief Superintendent.
I don't know. I'm not a book. I haven't got the names and the years printed on my mind.
You've got to. Not just printed, but chiseled in. Every date, every ruler, every wife, every war. Now, when did the Turkish rule?
From 1372.
Who ruled under him?
The Nizam Shah.
For how long?
13 years.
That's better.
You're happy asking the Christians.
They have to be asked. It shouldn't be hard for you. You were a student once.
1 year at the Sorbonne. Enough to make me useless. Not long enough to learn.
That's a different self. This one is learning.
Because you're the teacher.
When was the Mazafariyah revolt?
18... I've forgotten.
Forgotten. Start again at the beginning. Hyder Ali Shah came to the throne in...
1837.
Who was Muawiyah Musafri?
His cousin.
He led the rising against Hyder Ali in...
I don't know.
1842. 1842. You know it. You must know it. It's the most important date in your history. What is it?
1842.
What happened?
He drove Hyder Ali out. He ruled in his place.
Until?
1865.
No!
1867! And then his son Akbar ruled here. He died in 1891. And then the French came. And then in 1919, Mazafariyah became a republic. Look, it's a republic now. It's up there. It's all around us. All right? My background, it's history. All right, now I know it.
You don't know it. You don't know it until you can repeat it like a schoolboy. It must be grafted onto you. It must become a part of you, like the new skin of your face. Until we have faced the elders of your tribe and convinced them, we can't go to London. Now, when was the Mazafariyah revolt?
1842.
Well, you...
Or Morrow. Morrow at his desk. Morrow in the bosom of his family. Morrow at the church fete. Morrow beagling. Nasty sight, that. Morrow swimming. Morrow... But a man who didn't know Morrow, this Arab scrapbook is very coincidental. Yes. Oh, dear. All right, if he must. Norton's in the flat. He's coming up.
Come on, take a look at this before he comes.
Oh, those poor police photographers, always composing still lifes with dead bodies.
The body is immaterial, as Oscar Wilde will most certainly not have said. Now, here is a photograph from Tufik Ali's catalogue. You see that kadu on the wall
That
there?
what?
That bag is called a kadu.
Oh, yes.
Now, let us look at the mortal remains once more. Gone.
Could have been sold.
Tufik Ali told Craythorpe that everything on that wall was private property, not for sale.
So he did.
Here he comes. Let him in. We therefore deduce that it's a family matter.
Indeed.
Certainly. The only question is, whose kadu was it?
Ah, thank you. Good. I haven't much time. About the Morrow case, I'm awfully sorry about this, Olenshaw, but the PM's had second thoughts. We feel now it's of only marginal importance. It might be desirable to avoid any possible escalation. Grateful for all you've been doing, of course, but it's arranged that my people will deal in the usual way.
As a policeman, Norton, I should have thought you would have been the first to resist any political interference. Morrow may find it expedient to hush things up.
I've been sent to...
Tufik Ali has been murdered. I'm not going to be put off just at the very moment when things become interesting. I suggest we continue to have Craythorpe report to us in the normal course of duty.
All right, we'll just play it down, that's all. After all, I'm not that good copy. Oh, well, thank you. Right, do your best, son. Goodbye. There's been a directive from the Prime Minister's office. Hasn't it percolated to your level yet, Chief Superintendent?
About your case, sir?
About what was my case, yes.
That's not why I'm here, sir. A different case.
Different?
Well, in a way, yes, sir. There are similarities.
Well, I'm very busy. Will it be long?
Oh, I hope not, sir. The name Tawfiq Ali, does it mean anything to you, sir?
Arab? Islam? That sort of thing? Why?
Well, you don't know him, sir.
No?
Pity. Pity. He's got albums full of clippings about you, sir.
Oh, I'm very flattering.
Well, when I say has, it's not quite the right tense, really, sir.
No?
No. I should have said had. He, died in the night.
Well?
Stabbed.
Well?
Well, wound like yours, sir. Two-pronged. Only this one was in the right place, so to speak.
That's right. Something with a shock. Even though he is a complete stranger.
Even though he is, yeah. It would help if there'd been a connection.
But there isn't, Chief Superintendent.
No, sir. I suppose there isn't. Well, sorry to disturb you.
Since it's for the last time, I'm prepared to forget it.
Well, at least Morrow is consistent in his bloody-mindedness.
Why should he deny knowing Tawfiq Ali once he's dead? Even if he had known some gruesome secret.
Ah, a glimmer of a glimmer.
What?
The bag, the kadu that disappeared.
Yeah, why was it stolen?
Because it would have revealed which family is involved.
Would it indeed?
Yes. It's a ceremonial and symbolic reminder of the gourd from which the ancient families of Islam drank to their foundation. The Assistant Commissioner, please. If you're ringing your bookmaker, you've just missed the 2:30. Norton, have there been any robberies from museums lately? Well, if any are reported, you might let us know. Nonsense. We're not interfering with Morrow at all.
Get all your research ladies onto it.
What are you up to?
Yes, every detail that can be dug up on Charles Morrow.
I promised, Sir Geoffrey.
But you didn't know what your left hand was doing, did you?
Thank you, Dimmock. Immaculate timing.
How did Muawiyah Shah claim the throne of Mazafariyah?
His great-grandfather was Hussein Shah.
Who was the father of Muawiyah Shah?
Yusuf al-Musafari. Sidi Yusuf al-Musafari.
His mother?
Yasmin, daughter of Aziz al-Omani.
The year Hyder Ali Shah fled?
1842. It's faultless. You see, he knows it. These people
Dates, names can be got out of books.
Those speeches cannot be got out of books.
Your father, why did he not come here before? Why did he not make
to come back
here?
here, faced with his past, and be nothing? He had the mind of a prince, the pride of a ruler.
So you came instead, not having his sensitivity. He is an imposter. I feel it. I know it. His answers are too glib, too pat. I say he is an imposter.
I am Omar el-Muzaffari. My great-grandfather was Hyder Ali Shah. I came here for my father's sake. I need nothing from you. But in this city, where for 12 centuries every life lay under the hands of my ancestors, their spirit is not dead, nor their ghosts at rest. You are a wicked man, and what you see is wickedness. Your world is a world of liars because you carry lies in your own mouth. When you die, you will be disregarded and forgotten, just as you have disregarded and forgotten my fathers. I will answer no more questions. I demand no further judgments. My father was right and I was wrong. You are a prince. He is Omar al-Muzaffari. His great-grandfather was Hyder Ali Shah.
You are Omar el-Mazafariyah. You are the son of rulers. You have come back to us.
So, you at least will sign the paper?
I am satisfied.
I too will sign.
And you?
el-Mazafariyah! The Sheikh Omar el-Mazafariyah! The Sheikh Omar el-Mazafariyah! Sheikh Omar el-Mazafariyah. Well, am I a graduate? Now?
From now on, you are what people believe you to be.
Sheikh Omar el-Mazafariyah.
I could tell them the truth.
The truth? Oh, you don't know them. You don't know us. They've made up their minds. They know what's true. Therefore, my dear Ursula, it is true.
So, now it's London.
Where I'll be the one who takes the risks.
Of course. But that was understood.
Yes. That was understood.
My children were given that for Christmas.
To learn Wai Chi is child's play. To become a master is an affair of years, rather like life.
Or war.
The board is the world. Its edges, seas. These stones, men who seek to occupy and control the world.
The Russian army uses it for training officers. You have to think both tactically and strategically.
Beyond me, I'm afraid.
Naturally. It's child's play.
Yes? What did he do? Just the one case? Good. Thank you. 4 4 Arabic manuscripts have been stolen from the Rallenshaw collection.
Good. We now know who the murderer is, don't we, Norton?
Yeah. Yeah? Yes, I suppose we do.
But another finer point suggests itself to me. Which is more important? To catch the murderer or the man behind the murderer?
The latter.
I agree. Which do you think, Norton?
I concur.
What was the Tukhra? Is that the right pronunciation?
Yes, that's quite right.
Well, what was it on the missing document?
Well, it was of the family of the Mazafariyah. Oh, you astonish me. I had no idea the police were so knowledgeable.
Well, we don't all carry our brains in our feet.
No, I can see that. Excuse me. Well, in this case, the Tukhra, Tukhra Chi.
Huh?
I say, in this case, the Tukhra Chi.
Oh, now you've lost me.
Oh, yes. Well, just take a look at some of these others, you see. Now, as you know, the Tukhra was the sign that marked the authenticity of the document, usually the current ruler, and the Tukhra Chi was the calligrapher who wrote it or drew it or whatever I don't quite know what the expression was. They were rather interesting fellows in their own way, you know, artists really, and each one of them had his own distinctive touch.
Well, something you could easily recognize. Like when you look at a picture, you can say, oh, that's a Matisse, or that's a Rembrandt, or something like that.
Yes, he says that's quite a reasonable, correct analogy. And of course, if you knew the thing really well and you were a real expert, you know at a glance who done it, you see, and that meant that the document was genuine. Excuse me, a cigar.
Oh. So these documents came from the Mazafariyah family at,
Mazafariyah.
Mazafariyah. Oh, Mazafariyah. I see.
Right.
We might have guessed it was the Mazafariyah family.
The Mazafariyah Millions, 1897.
A great sensation. No claimant has yet come forward.
What a temptation for somebody.
Yes.
No point in keeping our murderer loose on the streets, no, is there?
No. I'll have him picked up.
Mazafariyah became a republic in 1919.
Yeah. Oh, for a Mazafariyah that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention. Hyder Ali Mazafariyah was driven out in 1842 by his cousin Muawiyah and came to this country, bringing his millions with him in 25 brass-bound chests, each with a Nubian slave attached to it, or so the story went. Though what the slave was meant to be doing, apart from adding a doughty veracity, I'll never know. Rather like the Russians with snow on their boots. Where was I?
Hyder Ali en voyage.
Oh, yes. He died, of course. His usurping cousin claimed the money, of course. And Hyder Ali's son put in a counterclaim, of course, and the case dragged on. Then Muawiyah died. I trust you're following this. I'm being a model of lucidity. Then Muawiyah's son died, and now 2 dusty solicitors are sitting somewhere in the Middle Temple on a heap of gold worth £2 million.
What's the Tufix Association?
A missing heir? No, I think not. He's from distinctly peasant stock.
Morrow's connection with all this might be interesting. I wonder who his ancestors were.
Yes, now that we know the family name, the University of Deoband might be able to help us. Yes, it's time we talked to the sages of Uttar Pradesh. I want a personal call, please, to Malik Al-Akrami, University of Deoband, Uttar Pradesh. Oh, dear. Malik, as in Russian diplomat. L, as in give an inch, take a... 1 L. Akrami, A for atavistic, C for chauvinism, H for hirsute. Akrami, well done. The University of Deoband, Uttar Pradesh. Where is that? Where do these females learn their geography?
Everything still as Taufik left it?
Yes, everything.
Except the Kadu, of course. You took it, didn't you?
Me? You must be out of your Chinese mind.
Well?
Of course I did not take it.
Was it worth killing for? Come on, answer me, Hassan. You took the Kadu off the wall, put the fork in old Taufik, and walked off with the documents, didn't you?
You have not one shred of evidence, Mr. Craythorpe.
What was it, Hassan? Who wanted him out of the way?
I have nothing further to say. Now I would like to get on with my work.
All right, we'll make it official then. I got a car outside. Come on.
You mistake me, and you mistake my history.
History of the gutter.
You are blinded, Ursula, by your own colossal European conceit.
I could break you as easily as I made you.
No, Ursula. You can't play God because you don't know the part. And you can't break me because you can't break 13 centuries of Islam. Can you make me content to sit under a woman's leadership like a baby? Or a Christian? It is written in the 4th surah of the blessed Quran, men are superior to women on account of the qualities with which God hath gifted the one above the other. Verily, God is most wise. From now on, I do what I want. You do what I ask. I order events.
How? By changing our plans? By destroying everything we've done?
No, that would be suicide. No, I like your plans. No, we have only to get rid of Morrow and all will be well.
Well then, after all, nothing has changed.
Oh, yes. You will have to learn to be pleasant and affectionate and acquiescent, won't you?
No!
Thank you so much. Naharak Saeed Mubarak. Dearborn, the Somerset House of the Middle East.
Tewfik's assistant admits to the attempt on Morrow.
Good. And to the murder of Tewfik?
Not quite. He's reserving his defense. Craythorpe grilled him for 3 hours, but he refuses to say who's behind him.
Pity, it would have speeded things up. Still, I think we can engineer it so that whoever it was gives himself up. Shall we have a chat with Morrow?
We know all we need to know?
Certainly. Malik al-Akrami was voluble to the point of garrulousness.
Good. Then let's get him up here.
You sound eager, Devak.
I am. I haven't eaten under Secretary of State for years.
Where are you going?
Only for a walk.
With a suitcase? Wait a minute. Give me that.
I was looking for some of my things.
But you have nothing here. Give it to me.
They're mine.
Documents of my family. You're trying to steal my documents.
You have no family.
What are you doing with these?
You have no family. Can't you understand that? You have nothing. You are nothing.
Were you going to start again with somebody else?
You're living in a dream world.
You're trying to destroy me!
No!
You're trying to steal...
Ow! Give it to me!
Mr. Morrow, why do you think you were attacked?
I've already explained to you.
I don't accept your explanation. I think someone else wants to claim your inheritance.
I don't know what you mean.
You are the direct descendant of Hyder Ali Mazafariyah.
How did you know?
Why have you never claimed the money, Mr. Morrow?
You were considerate enough to set up Tufik Ali in the antique business.
I've told you I know nothing of Tufik Ali.
The wise old filing clerks of Uttar Pradesh tell me otherwise. He was your body servant.
I see. You've both been into it very thoroughly, haven't you? Well, Tufik was poor. Well...
You sound ashamed of something, Mr. Morrow.
Not at all. I'm not. My mother was. My father died when I was a child. My mother, who was a Catholic, told me nothing until she too was dying. She was ashamed of having married a Muslim. By the time I knew about the money, I was deep in politics. To claim my inheritance would have revealed that I was not entirely English. You understand?
We didn't mind about Disraeli.
Disraeli wasn't an Arab. Anyway, by that time I had enough money. I didn't want to prejudice my future in politics. Only Tufik knew the whole truth. His grandfather had been Hyder Ali's personal bodyguard. And Tufik's loyalty was absolute. So naturally I did what I could to keep him in decent comfort. Frankly, I was happy. Indeed, I viewed the Mazafariyah millions as a threat to that happiness.
You're quite right, they are. Especially now that you will have to claim them.
I shall do nothing of the sort.
No. How would it look if a cabinet minister was involved in a murder case?
But I'm not.
Under secretary, then?
I could easily disprove it.
There is one further solution, however.
What?
It would mean you're trusting us implicitly.
Ah.
No, your agreement first. Either you help us, or you'll find your political career in tatters.
And I won't be blackmailed.
You're a sitting duck, Mr. Morrow. You've too much to lose. Pity, isn't it? Let us know within 12 hours. There's a good fellow.
Do I know who you are?
The question is, Mr. Morrow, do you know who you are?
Oh, please elaborate.
I have come here to discuss a business proposition.
How very considerate. I'm afraid I still haven't caught your name.
For the past few months, Mr. Morrow, I have put together a foolproof scheme that would have made me a fortune. Mr. Morrow, I could make you a very rich man as well.
You could make me £2 million. Why don't I claim it? I don't want it.
No man turns his back on that sort of money.
What I have today I've made for myself, out of myself. That is considerable influence and no little power, which I couldn't have bought.
So you've proved yourself. Now help yourself to a fortune.
You know, our Prime Minister's a tolerant fellow. He tends to regard the private lives of his ministers as their own business. However, as a Minister of the Foreign Office, my own little peccadilloes happen to be that I am an Arab, a Muslim, and the pretender to the throne of a friendly republic. I doubt whether even he could overlook all those. Not to put too fine a point on it, were I to claim the Mazafariyah millions, my career will come to a very, very full stop.
Mr. Morrow, if you don't claim, I can bring your career to a very full stop anyway.
What do you want?
A little slice.
Why not a big, big slice? Go ahead, take the whole lot. I don't want to know about it. Find yourself a claimant. Shouldn't be difficult, should it? Couple of £1 million, not to mention...
It would fall into the hands of a thief and a liar.
And thieves fall out. Let's be frank, madam. I could involve you in a charge of murder. Not to mention another one of attempted murder.
It depends who has the most to lose. Doesn't it, Mr. Morrow?
Get out.
Well, where did you spend last night?
What business is it of yours?
Now. It's of no consequence.
I bought a hat.
But why did you come back? Shall I tell you? Because you had nowhere else to go. Is that not true? Well, if you will serve me with such humility, Ursula, I can promise you nothing but maybe a few crumbs from a very rich man's table.
Aren't you presuming a little? I can still tell Morrow who he is.
Unlikely.
Why?
Listen to the headlines. Minister dead. Minister. Well, doesn't that make you curious? Very well, I'll read it. Mr. Charles Morrow, MP, Under Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs, died last night in tragic circumstances. His body was discovered. Well, you don't seem very pleased.
So odd.
Does it matter? My last obstacle gone as though I'd ordered a wind to blow it away.
Yes, that's right. The last obstacle.
Tomorrow, I will claim the millions of Mazafariyah. The sad, the beautiful, the glittering millions of the Mazafariyah. My family. But tonight, we will celebrate, and you must look pleased then.
Must.
Oh, yes. Must, my beautiful Ursula, must. Must. From now on, that's the word between us. You see, you are not needed anymore. I'm the one with the money. Oh, yes. From now on, must will be the word.
Yes, they'll come forward with all the right documents, the right tukras and the kado. After all, they went to enough trouble to collect the evidence, didn't they? Now that Morrow is dead, the omens couldn't be more auspicious. Goodbye. Thank you for helping us, Morrow. I hope you don't feel too distressed to be dead, but out of danger.
I do. Still, you have one compensation, you know.
How's that?
Read your own obituaries.
Demortuous.
Do cheer up, Morrow. We'll resuscitate you in a few days. You can claim your inheritance, make a generous but discreet donation to the party of your choice, and hey presto, your political career will be flourishing as never before. You can have a knighthood too, if you like. Anything over 15,000 merits a sir. Reminds me of a filthy Arab song.
What a pity.
Knighthoods are cheap today, cheaper than yesterday. Chant.